We are going to start with the first proclamation. Nicole?
Proclaiming September 29th through October 5th, 2025 as a week without driving. Whereas mobility is a fundamental part of life for Fitchburg residents, connecting them to the community, allowing them to visit friends and family, and helping them to reach places of employment, education, medical services, shopping, recreation, and more. And
whereas the U.S. Bureau of Transportation Statistics has estimated the average cost of owning and operating an automobile in 2024 to be $12,296, and shows that this cost has steadily increased since 2017. And
whereas the Wisconsin Department of Transportation estimates that more than 40% of Fitchburg residents do not drive, 30% of residents 16 years of age or older, due to age, financial circumstance, physical or intellectual disability, or a preference to minimize their environmental impact, alleviate traffic congestion, and prioritize the safety of pedestrians and bicyclists. And
whereas our society's decades-long reliance on cars has prioritized the construction and maintenance of streets with comparatively little financial investment made in improving sidewalks, multi-purpose paths and trails, and public transit, resulting in Fitchburg's walk, bike, and transit scores of 30, 58, and 20 out of 100, and bicycle network analysis score of 47 out of 100. And
whereas Fitchburg Comprehensive Plan calls for the city to, 1, develop and maintain a multimodal transportation system that reduces automobile dependency and increases transportation choices. 2, establish and follow a complete streets policy that is equally sensitive to the needs of motorists, pedestrians, bicyclists, and transit users. And 3, encourage participation in car-free challenges as a way to promote the many health, financial, and environmental benefits of active transportation. And
whereas Fitchburg is taking meaningful steps to implement these policies by investing in public transit, introducing and expanding B-Cycle throughout the city, adding to our network of multi-use paths and bike lanes, collaborating with neighborhood municipalities on a Safe Streets for All planning and demonstration grant, and a Pursuing Vision Zero. And
whereas Week Without Driving is a nationwide initiative that aims to raise awareness and promote understanding about the challenges faced by individuals who do not have reliable transportation, highlighting the impact of limited transportation on people's ability to work, access to education, childcare, and retail, visit doctors, attend appointments, and enjoy recreational activities and entertainment.
Now, therefore, it is resolved that I, Julia Arata-Fratta, Mayor, along with the Fitchburg Common Council members, do hereby proclaim the week of September 29 to October 5th, 2025 as a week without driving in Fitchburg, and encourage all elected officials, city staff, and Fitchburg drivers to experience a full week without driving. We will try. This is proclaimed September 23rd, 2025. Okay, so we are going to continue with the proclamation, and then we're going to take with the pictures. Okay, next one.
Celebrating September 15th to October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month. Whereas Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated nationwide from September 15th to October 15th, honoring the rich culture, history, and contributions of Hispanic and Latino communities. And
whereas Hispanic Heritage Month begins on September 15th in honor of the Independence Day of 6 Latin American countries, including Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Mexico. And
whereas during this month, it is important to recognize the unique challenges that Hispanic communities continue to face and to renew our commitment to creating a more inclusive and equitable society for all. And
whereas Latinos participate politically in government at all levels, from school boards to the governor's office, from city councils and mayors to Congress. And
whereas Hispanic Heritage Month is one of enormous pride for over 68 million Hispanics and Latinos living in the United States, comprising 20% of the population and making it the nation's largest racial or ethnic minority. And
whereas the U.S. Census Bureau estimates that by 2060, Latino people will represent over 28% of the total U.S. population, with 111 million residing in the United States. And
whereas Latinos are the fastest growing constituency in Wisconsin, with more than 457,000 Latinos calling Wisconsin their state and home, representing 8% of Wisconsin's population. And
whereas despite challenges, setbacks, and targeted efforts by the federal government, the community continues to rise, adapt, and move forward with resilience. Their strength is in their diversity, their unity, and their unbreakable spirit. And
whereas Fitchburg is fortunate to have a dynamic Hispanic Latino community comprising 16% of its population that plays a vital role in our city's economy and society, therefore, the city recognizes and celebrates the many contributions made by the Hispanic community to enhancing the quality of life in our city.
So now, therefore, it is resolved that the Mayor and Common Council recognize September 15 through October 15, 2025, as Hispanic Heritage Month in the city of Fitchburg, and congratulate our Latinx community on this significant month and thank them for their contribution to the vibrancy of the city of Fitchburg. I'm going to repeat this in Spanish. Por lo tanto, se resuelve que la alcaldesa y el Consejo Deliberante de Fitchburg reconocen desde el 15 de septiembre al 15 de octubre como el mes de la herencia hispana en la ciudad de Fitchburg y felicitan a la comunidad latina en este mes tan significativo y le agradecen por sus contribuciones a la vitalidad de la ciudad de Fitchburg. Esto es proclamado el 23 de septiembre del 2025. Before we move to the next one, I'm going to call to the microphone Professor Ibarra. He lives in Fitchburg, and he is going to say something about why is so important this month for the Latino community.
Buenas tardes. Good evening. And thank you to you all, to this body, and to the mayor for the invitation to come and just share a couple of words of why this proclamation is of special importance to myself, my family, and our community here in Fitchburg. I am a Mexican American. My wife is a Mexican American. My children are Mexican Americans born here in Dane County. So when we moved here 15 years ago, we had 4 children that were born right here in Dane County at Meriter Hospital. In just these 15 years that we've lived in Wisconsin, we've seen a tremendous growth of the Latinx, Latine, Latino, Latina, Hispanic population, or whatever we choose to call ourselves. Here, not just in this particular area, but across the state. As was noted, 17% of the Fitchburg population is Latino, Latina, Latinx, Latine. 17% of this population is mostly younger people, which is around 25 years of age. Of this population, the majority of Latinos are U.S. citizens born here in Wisconsin. So not only is this community not foreign anymore, it's not from outside of our boundaries, but it's U.S. citizens born here in Wisconsin of Latino heritage. I think this is a narrative that is often lost in our conversations about Latinos, and it's a narrative that needs to be brought up over and over again. We picked Wisconsin because of its rich tradition of accepting immigrants over its last 200 years. People from Germany, people from Poland, people from Italy, people that migrated for labor from Puerto Rico, and people that came here of Mexican descent over 100 years ago have been integrated into the fabric of Wisconsin. And Wisconsin is as much impacted by this demographic transformation that we're undergoing as any other state in the nation. And again, I just want to say how proud I am of this resolution, of this council, and of the mayor, and I am certainly proud to be a resident of Fitchburg, Wisconsin. We chose this city for what it has, and we plan to be here a long, long time. Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias, Armando. Okay, so next we move to the next proclamation. You're going to speak after we finish with the proclamation and the public hearing. Yeah, you can, after that, yeah. We have another one, David. Okay.
Recognizing October 2025 as Fire Prevention Month. Whereas the City of Fitchburg, Wisconsin is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting Fitchburg. And
whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are where people are at the greatest risk of fire. And
whereas working smoke alarms sense smoke well before you can, alerting you to danger in the event of a fire in which you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape safely. And
whereas working smoke alarms reduce the risk of dying in a fire by more than half. And
whereas Fitchburg residents should be sure everyone in the home knows the sound of smoke alarms and knows how to respond when they sound. And
whereas Fitchburg residents will make sure their smoke and carbon monoxide alarms meet the needs of all their family members, including those with sensory and physical disabilities. And
whereas Fitchburg residents may request smoke detectors free of charge from the Fitchburg Fire Department, as well as the American Red Cross. And
whereas Fitchburg residents may request smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detector in-home evaluations from the Fitchburg Fire Department. And
whereas Fitchburg residents are welcome to attend the Fitchburg Fire Department open house being held on October 4th at Fitchburg Fire Station Number 2, 2931 Marketplace Drive from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And
whereas Fitchburg residents are responsive to the public education and fire prevention efforts of the Fitchburg Fire Department and can take personal steps to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. And
whereas each year, the month of October is dedicated to raising awareness of the risk associated with fires and carbon monoxide poisoning and the specific efforts to prevent those events from occurring through education and prevention efforts.
Therefore, I, Julia Arata-Fratta, Mayor of the City of Fitchburg, along with the Common Council, do hereby proclaim the month of October as a fire prevention month throughout the city. And I urge all people in Fitchburg to practice fire safety daily and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of the Fitchburg Police, EMS, and fire personnel. This is proclaimed September 23rd, 2025.